So, hi everyone. Hello, my hashtag oldies. Nothing to do with age. It's how long you've been hanging around. And hello, hashtag newbies. And yeah, subscribe if you have seen enough to know that you want to hang around with us. But obviously, if you're brand new, you can make your own fucking decision. I don't know why that's a thing. If you've just literally just found it, do you know what I mean? It's like, but anyway, I always say, like, I don't like to say that because it's like the person's capable of making their own decision. Wait a minute, I've just noticed two cards are out. Fuck me. Welcome to the world of Claire. Yes, I did just trip. Oh, that's amazing. Fucking sarcastic as fuck, yes. So, you know the whole not keeping the cards on the ground thing? I was doing that, but when I've tripped up on something, they've all fucking fell on the floor. So that's it. I'll pick them up after. Let's just see though, what's... Ah, interesting by the way. Right, so there's a few cards there, and if you're new, I used to... My cards for quite a long fucking time were on the floor. The floor of truth, I might add. As one of our beautiful sofa members, Michelle, coined it. Oh, I'm going to use the Russian roulette deck. Right, we're going straight in now, obviously. But yeah, the card that just jumped out at me was the fuck this card. You know, I always say it's the fuck this card. It's so funny because I've literally never ever seen anybody else calling this the fuck this card or anything remotely like that. So that's my thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is the fuck this card. Do you know what I mean? He's like, fuck this shit. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I'm fucking done with this situation. I'm fucking off. Do you know what I mean? A bit like on the Twin Flame journey when the Divine Masculine's like, fuck this, it's too intense. I kind of feel like the Divine Feminine collectives are a bit like, fuck this, do you know what I mean? But in a good way. I feel it's in a good way, right? Because I'm going to look, it's about letting go, right? And it's a very fine manifesting, true manifesting. And again, remember, I say this quite, I say it when it comes up, but a lot of people in my earlier reviews on my Facebook page, right? Which again, I don't use any of these things. I just use it here. But all the I had like I don't know something like 65-star users. I think they stopped you allowing you to do the 5-star thing. But basically, the point is, a lot of them mentioned how I taught them about manifestation in particular and true manifestation because I think it's God, that's really weird. I heard the word convoluted, and I'm pretty sure that's got something to do with muddying the waters. Again, even when I think that's wrong, I look at it and it's always right. But anyway, because again, it's like whether you see that as dyslexia, that is, by the way, if you don't know that, that's a common thing about dyslexia, where you'll be right, absolutely right first time, but because your self-esteem is either still low, or in my case, would have been low for quite a long time until I done the work there, which I have done the work now. You can still doubt it, you know what I mean? Of course, when I'm channeling, it can actually be me channeling the energy of whoever I'm channeling as well, and that can be many different people. But it's also a clear, that is also my clairaudience. Like I literally just heard convoluted, and every time, if you watch me quite a lot, you'll see that if I doubt the word, I look it up either right here and then if my mother phone's next to me, or I look it up after and it's right. So anyway, there's something about, it annoys me with manifestation. It's kind of one of these things that's quite, being a bit fucked around with, and it's yeah. I'm not anything that's trendy and really popular. I'm kind of going to be put right fucking off, and sometimes that can go against you because sometimes something might be really popular and it actually is because it's good and whatever. But most of the time, from what I've observed, it's like, if there's a fucking obscene amount of people that are really into something, I'm going to be extremely discerning about whether I choose to like or not. I'm just a big one. I don't follow the crowd. They're going the wrong way. So I feel if this is about you today, it's like where everybody's going right, you're going left. You know what I mean? You're doing your own thing. You're going your own way. And basically, with manifestation, it is that you've got to hold the vision, trust the process, but let go. Like trust the process so much you can completely let go. So I don't know if this channeling today is going to be like the ones that I do most days. I mean, let's face it, it might be, but if not, you can see these cards are all very exciting, and it's the one I done yesterday. But again, looks can be deceiving, guys, because I haven't published that yet for a few reasons. Right? We're in Gemini season, and that's, I'd say, very controversial energy in itself. But with I've got my North Node in Gemini, I've got my Chiron in Gemini, which is a lot of my healing that I do through my voice and just my energy in general. I've got other basically asteroids, and I've got other things here, that I'm not going to go into all the other things I've got there, but I've got powerful goddess placements, I'll just put it that way, for awakening people on their twin flame journey, because the Gemini is the sign of the twins. It's just basically, even if somebody didn't know me to be a twin flame healer and teacher, I would say anyone that was worth their salt, if they were to look at my astrology chart, would probably mention something about how powerful those placements are for either couples counselling or, mediating, helping lovers or whatever, or, mention the whole sort of duality, twin flame, just being able to see the feminine and masculine qualities of something. And again, the way they're getting me explain this is my eyes get drawn to 555, which, remember, yesterday's date, I said it on a shorts, but was the 23rd, and the year is obviously the 23rd, but I hadn't even clicked that the month was the 5th, so it literally was a 555 energy again. And there was a very strong energy about yesterday. Now, there are quite a few, it's a grand fixed cross, and I know personally in my chart, I've got a couple of squares going on there, and, there's oppositions, and, all these kind of, and again, it's interesting because if you follow me quite a long time, I don't usually go that deep into the astrology, because the way that I do it is very much my own way. And again, I just, like I say, I went through my spiritual awakening and just kind of fucking, oh my god, like fucking hell, my past life astrologer had just completely woke up. I'm going to get those astrology cards, but basically, it is just that kind of energy. There's lots of tense energy right now, and it's kind of like, and it's funny because so basically, right, I need to calm the fuck down, man. Wait a minute. Sorry, that this is what I mean. It's just like, this energy is crazy for me because Gemini's very fast anyway, and my channeling comes in fast as fuck all the time, and I can just feel so much excitement in the collective energy, in the twin flame collective too. Because look, right, the message that I gave yesterday, basically what I'm saying is, it was really quite depressing, and the gist of it, if I don't publish it, was all about a karmic situation where somebody has not said fuck this yet, right? And again, I have helped many people over the years in this situation, in the most hopeless, depressing, stuck situations you can possibly imagine. And again, so serious that I can't ever really go into, I don't know about ever, but I can't really ever go into detail. It feels to me like I can't ever really go into detail. And it's funny because, like I've said before, even when people say to me, oh, I don't mind you sharing that, I've got quite a good gauge of, well, actually, it doesn't feel comfortable for me to share. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. It's not worth me to share that, just because, anyway, so that's what I'm talking about, these kind of situations, right? Because you just never know who's tuning in. It's a bit like, I mentioned the bits and the different bits and bobs of my chart, right? But again, it's like people can use information, people can use information like that to do fucked up shit, right? And again, it's like they've probably got enough fucking stuff to do all sorts of shit to me, and I'm sure they do. And fucking, if that's how you want to spend your time, dark energies out there, you bash on. Oh my god, I know why they've got me to say that. Right, I need to come back to that in a minute if I remember. Karmic energy, karmic energy, karmic energy. Right. I need to talk about karmic energies, and wow, someone's telling me I'm going to have to publish that for someone. Right, these cards are basically, right, although these all look very positive, look, true love, yin yang, you're being tested, union, honour your relationship, passion, let go. Basically, you've got to let go, say fuck this and let go, for all this to come in, and that is true manifestation, detaching from holding on too tight for it to come in. But you're not letting go for it to come in. That's, again, it's a fine balance. And again, I really do feel we're all on a personal journey with that. Seriously, it's like the more you try to get it, the more it's going to elude you. Like love or happiness or success. The success of you do need to put in the work, actually. But you know what I'm saying? It's like once you've put in the work, then you need to know when to sit back and relax. And I feel for a lot of people, you may have actually done enough work to sit back and relax, or you might be able to be honest with yourself, be like, do you know what, actually, I still need to work on this. And that's why I just said to actually one of you guys that commented, I won't call people's names out, but you know who you are, you can go and look yourself. It's like, that is something that I always notice about that person, and you can see who that person is if you go look. But is that because a lot of us, including me, we could be quite hard on ourselves, and where we shouldn't be or where we don't deserve to be. And again, I really get that. And it's kind of like when that person said, what was it she said? Oh, she just said basically that, the written channeled things in the community thing have really called her out. Like, both said a similar thing that she'd picked. Um, but, basically, I've just commented back. And again, it was very much like I say, spirit, God, the guides talking through me. Because again, I liked what I channeled. I was like, oh, I like that. I was like, I've just made up a quote. And I can't remember what it is now. What did I say? Acknowledgement and awareness opens the door to freedom. Yeah, that is what came to me. And what I meant by that is, I'm sure you know what I meant, but what I meant is that I always love that about, well, I can say Lexi because you can go and fucking see yourself, but I love that about you, Lexi, okay? So that, that basically, yeah, that it's like, you're like, oh no, fucking hell. But actually, that is really brave. And Lexi is a double fire sign, by the way. She's Aries, Sun, and Moon. And Venus, like me. That's why we're both got very passionate energy. But to be able to actually say, like, yeah, that's me, and to be able to say it in public, I think that's really brave, because it's very much like what I do, and I honour that about myself as well, and anybody is able to do that, because it's not everybody's job to do that. But I do think us Aries sun signs it is in some sort of way. If you're able to, we're passionate. It's about leadership. It is about that, so it doesn't always need to be the exact same way for everyone, but it's like even that, you being honest in that way. Because I've said that to to other people as well that talk all the time. It's great when you can share, because everybody learns. So yeah, basically, there's lots of you that are like Lexi in that way, that I'm just sort of acknowledging that, rather than looking at it like, oh no, I've picked the one that's got a little bit of stuff going on, because I'd say every single one that I channeled has stuff going on, including like, I often think I should do that for I turn the cards round, but I didn't pick one for myself as such. But when I read one back today, I was like, oh my god, that's just literally just fucking happened. Like the one that's about staying open to serendipity and synchronicity and things just happening out of nowhere, like happy accidents. That literally just happened to me today. And so, I don't want to share everything with everyone, because I do share quite a lot with people all the time anyway. But all I'm going to say about that is, and it's nothing to do with this again, because I wouldn't be sharing that in real time. So again, I suppose I could be head fucking, but I really haven't. But it's like, it's, in another area of life, I was going, I was out and about today about something else, and my energy was a bit lower, I'll be honest, because I don't enjoy Cancer Moon energy. Where it is in my chart, it is a time of resting. And I was, couldn't get out of my bed, and that's very common too, because Cancer energy is about sleep. So I'm talking for those of you that experience this. And I thought it was already Leo Moon when I left the house today. And then I've just got back and I've like, oh fuck, it's the last degrees of Cancer Moon. So that makes a lot of sense why I literally could not peel myself out of my bed. Um, and and again, I do feel I'm tuning into a lot of you that are feeling like this. I know for a fact I'm tuning into a lot of you that are feeling like this out there, and it won't just be because where the moon is; it'll be more prolonged, like your dark night soul kind of stuff. But yeah, the sun is going into Leo later on today, and you'll really feel the shift in energy, because I'm feeling it already now. But yeah, this was not like this to begin with, right? It's like. Oh yeah, so anyway, I've just come out. See what I mean? That's the energy trying to distract me from what I was saying. But yeah, basically in general, I've went saying about something else that I couldn't really be bothered saying about, but I was like, right, this motivates me. It's all stuff to do with business and that, right? And like I say, because I've got ADHD, some shit that I have to do it's just a bit boring, right? But it's like anything in life, you know what I mean? It's like that's why it took me so long to tidy up the cards. So I have to find a way to make it fun. But all I'm saying is, today, it's like something that you read in a book or something, when you have some kind of synchronistic event where you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Where it's like, like, so I remember the other day somebody told me a story like that, and it was like, it was to do with like someone in their life, like they were in the right place at the right time and came across the right situation. And something like that just kind of happened to me, right? So it's so that, yeah, so I'll just sort of leave it at that. And it is, and it's just, it's just a little like, oh right, this is kind of intriguing, and it's just something that sparked a little bit of passion in me, for creative stuff. And so yeah, so just be open to things like that happening, because like I said, if someone had said to me, oh, this is going to lead to this today, I probably would, I wouldn't doubt it, because like I say, that's why that's happened to me. I am very open, and I do know that miracles can happen every day, whether it be in the area of love, work, success, health, whatever it is for you. I am always very open and optimistic, even in the darkest of times. So if you're open like that and you're not thinking the worst. Which, remember, I have to share this because my mum doesn't say it now, but I was a born worrier as a kid. Like, yeah, I was just worrying far too much. And again, that's very common if you're Scorpio rising as well. That we're very old, wise souls, wise beyond our years. And, because my cousin's exactly 10 years younger than me. And, like, again, I always say that, I give this as an example, but I don't do this. But I remember, like, when I was, like, 16, and I was, like, I was watering down the issues with my boyfriend, in inverted commas. I'm like, I always fucking, resist saying that it was that. But, and my wee cousin, at the age of, like, fucking, whatever she was, far too young to be listening to me, like, she would be saying things to me like, he's not very nice to you, Claire. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I probably, I don't know, and I don't think I would have said something like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're a kid. Like, I actually really did, it would be like when I was a kid, if somebody opened up to me, probably sharing too much of what they should, because it used to fucking happen all the time. Like I said, it's a Scorpio rising thing. Like, even when I seen my wee cousin a couple of years ago when I went to London, hadn't seen her for years, fucking opened up my whole, like, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm the counsellor, but she ends up getting all my shit because we're very close. I'm very close with most of my cousins. And it's kind of like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, by the way, that's so weird, but I just stopped myself because I'm so honest. I feel like there's something about somebody's cousin being like a karmic energy, because I did just stop myself and being like, oh, not all my cousins. So that's, again, it's not really that, like, that's not the case for me. There's nothing that strong. It's just I'm definitely not as close with some than others. So, but I just got a real strong honed in on the word cousin. So I don't know who that's for, but it's just sort of reminding me of, like, just that whole blood's thicker than water thing doesn't go across the board, because like I say, just to be call a spade a spade. Yeah, I know which side. What's that saying? I just heard that saying. I know which side my bread's buttered. Like, I know who. Like, put it this way: my other cousin, not the same one, but her sister messaged me the other day to be like, because I'd said something about astrology or something. Like, she'd said something back to me like, "I always appreciate your wisdom and insights." Something like that. Basically, just acknowledging what is unique about me. Um, and you know what I mean, and that's rare. That is rare that you would that you would get that from family members, full stop. And I do feel, very lucky in it. And also you can have the opposite effect. And I've definitely got, extended family where it's yeah, I'd be completely ignored. I've had it actually. That's what I just don't put myself around anymore. But I've been at family gatherings, and I've had people that I haven't seen for years ask. I'm actually being shown a situation where it was like, like, somebody asking me, a extended family member that was interested, being like, oh, so how's your mediumship going? And I was like, blathering on about all of that, and, doing my thing. Whereas, like, there was other extended family members that, like, have never asked me anything about that. And even if I tried to, they just totally blank me and stonewall me. So, you know what I mean? Don't put yourself around that, like, because I got to a certain point where I'm like, I'm not fucking putting myself in that position. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm going to completely avoid everything, but I'm not going to go out my way to just, I'm not going to go out my way for folk that don't give me something back. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I've got a hell of a lot less friends, actually, now that we're on it, than what I ever had before. It's just part of ascension, but it's just also the same thing. Do you know what I mean? That it's like, I just got sick of folk asking, yeah, asking, that was a Freudian slip. I meant to say acting, but yeah, asking too much of me, and kind of, doing that whole, oh, I'm not really interested in everything that you do, but at the same time, always, yeah, my help was always there on tap. Yeah, it's just, and it's kind of like, you just get fuck this, fuck this, and it's and I always happen to feel all of these situations in my life are long enough ago, you know, a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's all different kind of scenarios, and it's just, it's all just learning, and it's all just, you know, I got to the point where I'm like, fuck this, do you know what I mean? And you just move and you grow and you move on and you grow apart from people. So, right, so basically this reading, right, I'm going to put these cards away. I feel in order to get to the true love, union, and all that, yes, you have to let go, but there's a lot of interference, confusion, the fuck my life guy. All seekers of truth experience confusion. Ask the divine to provide the answers unique. There's a lot of interference, and now I'm going to get on to, before I forget, I the other night had a dream, and I'm just going to say a karmic person. I'm not going to specify, you know, the gender, or, you know, I don't need to go into that. I've got loads of karmic people in my life in the past, and again, like I say, I'm always humble that there can still be a few lurking around, but I live my life mostly like a hermit, so they don't get close enough for me to affect me, really, you know what I mean? And if they do, I cleanse my energy and that. But anyway, what I'm saying is, oh yeah, that is what was interesting about it. Look, again, I'm sure I will publish it, because I can tell that basically, when the groom and the bride come out, that's divine masculine, divine feminine, and they came out in that order. But it's like, and clear yourself. It's like basically that whole reading was, I caught this shitty, well, I'm saying shitty film. I might watch it later on when I'm bored, but it's kind of like later on tonight. But it's kind of like, yeah, the film was triggering because it was set in the pandemic, and it was just triggering the fuck. It was just depressing. It was triggering because it's all fucking lies. Anyway, so, but, and by the way, you know, can I just say as well, I noticed that one of the holistic doctors that was spreading, well, it is funny because it's not funny, but you know what I mean, it's interesting rather, because when you get a lot of holistic doctors or any kind of professionals that try to spread the truth, it's interesting that they mysteriously die, you know, like, I'm just going to call a spade, they do. And you know, yeah, that, I think is it Dr. Rashid or something, but yeah, he apparently, I think it was the 18th of May there, so not long ago. And he'd actually, what was crazy about it, I think he'd actually said that he claimed he'd been poisoned, and then a few days later he died. There's something like that. Look up yourself, but I'd watched that guy's stuff before, and it was really good. And you know, when you put on Wikipedia, it's like calls him he's called an anti-vaxxer, and you know, spreading misinformation. I mean, get to fuck, man. The again, I'm doing it again. This is what yesterday's was like, so fuck it. I'm putting out. So basically, the one I done yesterday, I was quite honest. I was very honest at the start, and I spoke about things to do with the whole the vid and all that, and this, you know. So again, if you feel like, I'll put this out first, and if you feel like that was going to trigger you, don't fucking watch it, right? I never get comments where it's like people being cheeky or whatever, or you know, but, and I'd handle it if I did. But I'm just always mindful that, you know, I have got some people that tune in that unfortunately did make decisions before they were aware of the consequences or what that was really all about before awakening. So I just don't ever want to, I'm very sensitive, and I just don't ever really want to, you know, I don't ever really want to hurt anyone's feeling that, but yeah, but basically I have to fucking be out, right? Because the reading was about a karmic situation. It was someone stuck in a karmic situation, before they said fuck this, and I really felt it was a past situation. I felt it was a past situation that was channeling, and now it's like somebody facing either still facing the trauma of it and holding back from love, or ready to love again, and that's why all the good ones come out. So again, if I don't put it out, I just summarised it. Right, so anyway, this is the one that was on the floor. So we're dealing with someone that's saying fuck this to something, moving on. And again, I channeled one of the shorts for later on in the week, and I was something like, or maybe it's already the one that's published. It was like moving away from your south node towards your north node, which is basically moving away from your past to your destiny, to your future, which is where a lot of people are at in life right now. Oh yeah, and so with the whole karmic stuff, I had a dream. I had a dream. Sounds like a song. I had a dream. Sorry, that's really weird. I mean, okay. I caught Mamma Mia, right? last week or at the weekend, and I can't stand it. When I lived with a flatmate, oh my god, years ago, hell, like 10, 15 years ago. In fact, I'll tell you fucking long ago it was. It was when my twin flame staying over wasn't such an alien thing. But it was, she loved that film basically, right? And I was like, this is a load of shit. Like, I couldn't stand it that much. I wanted to chuck the DVD out the window. I had to walk out of the room, right? Anyway, I happened to catch it on the TV the other day, and they were singing all the Mamma Mia and all that. And I caught it a bit where it must be like, I haven't watched the whole thing, but the guy was like saying, like, sorry it took me 20 years to realise I love you or something like that. So again, that might be relevant for somebody too. Again, that's not quite my story. I've known my twin flame 20 years, but actually I suppose here, I don't know. Right, I don't know. That's quite fun. Anyway, so but yeah, so basically, oh, that's just through me. Yeah, so Mamma Mia might be relevant to someone because, like I say, I can't stand the film, but they made me watch that and they just flashed up in my mind, so it'd be relevant to someone. So again, it could be that there's like, been a 20-year gap that you've seen oh shit, that is relevant. I know that, right? Because although, yeah, I just said I've known my twin 20 years, we've not been in separation 20 years, like more like half that, maybe add a couple of years. It's or take away a couple of years, because like I said, I did bump into him at places, but we weren't, seeing each other in that same way. We weren't acting like human beings to each other. It would be serendipitous and we'd avoid each other. So if you count that as not separation, or I wouldn't call that reunion, do you know what I mean? It wasn't pleasant, it wasn't fun. It was more like, I want to fucking go home now that's happened. And then my pals were, no, just stay out, get drunk, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I've just fucking, my whole energy's just been fucked up because I've seen the other half of my soul, but never mind. True story. That's how my night would go. So basically, yeah, I had I'd say a nightmare the other night in it, but it was very real, and I'm going to go into serious mode here. You know how I always say, when your karmic energies can't get to you in the physical, they go through the dream time. Well, and this is why I kind of hesitate about even saying it, because again, like, you don't know who's watching and all that, and again, I'd like to and love to think that karmic anyone in my life in the past, I've got way more better things to do than to be watching these, and especially every day. But you'd be surprised, right? From readings I get from myself and from what I put on collective energy, karmic energies can be very obsessive. Yes, I know in the twin flame journey, twin flames can be obsessive about each other too, but like I say, that's more for learning and healing. But karmic energies can be quite obsessive and send you negative energy. So basically, I don't know. Like I said, I don't bother myself sitting about fucking overthinking or worrying about it. But what I will say is, I had a dream the other night. It was so real, and what it involved was a karmic person pushed me off a again, remember it's a dream, but it's symbolic. I am a shaman, dreams mean something. They pushed me off a really high cliff, a bit like the Fool card, but it was like, pushed me off a really high cliff into the sea. There's lots of things on that, right? I know I walk by the sea every day, but I'm quite terrified of water, right? And and it was also the fact I wasn't ready. So it's like pushing someone before they're ready. But it was like this karmic person, yeah, it was like, and in the dream they were like, I'm only joking, can you not take a joke, all that kind of energy. But it was like I was already off the cliff and in the fucking sea, do you know what I mean? And then there was other stuff that happened in the dream, but I can't really remember, so I don't think it's relevant and it'll come back later. But it was like basically somebody in your life that makes out like they're doing something for your good, but actually they're being a dick to you. Which is why obviously someone would be a karmic past person now, because when you see that, what you didn't see before, and again, remember, for me, it's uh it's most of the time when I'm channeling about this, it is not a romantic one. It is like usually a friend, a karmic friend, which again, I don't like to say karmic friend, because it's, if someone was a friend at one point, they were a friend, and it's not always ending in tears or whatever, but let's face it, a lot of the time it does end up in, it goes, but anyway, that's basically what the dream was. So whatever that means to anyone else, about it more feels like an omen. Definitely, yes, an omen for me, that people can be giving me the evil eye and negative energy, watching what I'm doing and all that, however often. But sometimes it can just be, maybe somebody was just thinking, you know, maybe someone was just thinking about me and sending me negative photo, not, but fuck, I'm not going to sit about worrying about it, but I'm going to ask about it though. I definitely am going to use the cards and ask about it. Let's just shuffle these dark ones that are sitting here, a wee mixture. And I'm just trying to think. Oh yes, and then today, now I wondered why I hadn't channeled about the other one that I'd done, because that was all about karmic energies. But it was because then this morning when I woke up, another karmic energy, a different one. And this time it was love, again, I like saying love, but it was a romantic related one, which, like I said, I don't have too many of them that I would, but anyway, it was just really simple. It was just like somebody was drunk and it was like drunk after a night out, and just being a fucking pain in the arse, basically. But it was weird because it was like, it was like, felt like it was real. And I was like, why, again, it was the same as what happened before when I channeled this. I was like, why the fuck are you here? And that's what made me wake up. I thought, why am I having a fucking, not a dream, why am I having a nightmare about somebody pissed after a night out that I'm having to take care of? But again, it's because that's the kind of person I was in the past, where if someone was never mind, yeah, a love person, but again, I don't like calling it, but you know what I mean, someone that I was talking to in that way, or a friend, I was always the first to help somebody, but it's kind of like, then people can take advantage of you, and they can treat you like a mug. So again, there's something about what I get from this, with it just being 2 days ago that a karmic person has appeared in my dream and pushed me off a fucking cliff, if you didn't mind. And again, the point is, right, doesn't matter what the context of the dream is, or even sometimes the people, but the people that I saw, it was relevant because it was who I've been getting synchronicities about, different sorts of folk in my life that I can feel send me negative energy, right? And then it was so it was actually confirmation for me, but it was more, it's how you feel. And in that dream, when the person pushed me off the cliff, it was nasty. Like, it felt nasty as fuck. It felt like someone cut, like making out something's a joke, or, it's like when someone's like, you're being too sensitive, or projecting. It's like when someone's projecting how they feel on to you, and kind of like, or gaslight, making you feel like you're imagining something. It was nasty. It was like a practical joke, but again, like I said, and it was just, it left me with a really not a nice feeling, and I thought, I have to talk about that because that'll be relevant to others. And then, like I said, the one this morning when I woke up, that was less kind of, it was just like annoying. I was like, what the fuck, why are you fucking in my dream? Do you know what I mean? Like, it did annoy me. And again, I'm not going to lie, that's why I'm like, I think I'm actually going to make a point of, when the moon moves into Leo later today and tomorrow, I'm just going to do what I've done before for the flower readings, and I'm going to pick a theme. Might not pick a theme, I might just do random ones, but I'm either going to pick a theme or do random ones, and I'm going to film them all in one day, and I'm going to release some, because just with where this transit is in my chart right now, it's like I'm definitely going through like another transformation, I would say, and I'm just noticing the fact that it's at 33 minutes, so I'm going through my own metamorphosis transformation, I would say, but I dare say, because I've just looked at 33 minutes, it's because I channel mainly about the divine masculine collectives that are going through that, and I'm feeling it quite intensively. So for whatever it is, it's a mixture of all of it. I do just need to just watch my energy. Yeah, basically, you know what I mean. And what I mean is, it's like I don't want to film a real time one every day, because it's timeless anyway. So anyway, that's just me sharing a little bit there. So just trying to think. So yeah, so just be aware if that's happening to you. And again, remember that they left those cards there for a reason, right? I was told to do that. If I don't publish that other one, it's because these unions, these physical unions for many people, even if it's not you, even if it's not me, even if it's not fucking any of us, it's some twin flames out there. Let's hope it's fucking somebody connected to the channel. Because it will be at one point, but I'm talking like these are really close. And it's like I say, nobody needs to share when it happens to you, because actually, if you're new around here, I strongly recommend that you don't. Even when you feel it's people that are going to be happy for you and you can trust them, I strongly recommend that you really don't share right away. Keep it to yourself for a bit. It's a sacred union for a reason. Keep it a secret. Keep it sacred. Either for as long as possible, or at least for a bit, basically. And it's because of this. It's like the reason I'm getting flooded with karmic nightmares is because of me putting out these messages, and also, yeah. So anyway, right. So what do we need to know about that? Right, specifically, what that dream that I shared about the being chucked off a cliff by a karmic energy. Oh my god, secrecy. I feel like I need to. Where's the fucking book? Secrecy, right. I just want to clarify the secrecy with. There's that deck. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, deceit came out or something. Destruction, Callie's on the bottom. Right, yeah. It's like, I think there's some kind of. This is actually making a wee bit of sense to me. There's some kind of secret, I feel, with a karmic energy. There's something, so say it's like a friend from the past or a lover, whoever it is for you. I think there's some kind of destructive secret that you don't know about. And I think if you hadn't known about it at the time, you would have said, fuck this. So that's really quite clear. That's what I'm getting. It's not going to make sense to everyone, but it'll make sense to whoever it's meant to. So again, that's me when I'm channeling about that feeling of somebody that makes out like they're doing something, or that they've got your back, and actually there's maybe quite a destructive secret that you don't know about. So again, that could be presently for someone. It could be, like said, something from the past that's going to be unearthed. Or it could even be, the thing is, it can even be things that you never find about, but you always feel it and you never get confirmation. There's something, though, I'm telling you, because I've been picking up on this for ages. I definitely know it's for me, put it that way. With certain things, but you just let it go, but it's going to be for other people too. And I didn't really ask. Atonement is about forgiveness, isn't it? And redemption. Oh my god, atonement and redemption, they're both about forgiveness. So yeah, there's something, you see what I mean? It's like, look, there's something that is like, whoever it is that's done something to you in the past or present, it's like they know that if this was to come out, it's like they would be like asking for forgiveness from from the heavens and from you. And yeah, okay, whatever that means to anyone. Right, so, and also, because I kind of feel right too as well. When I think about it, it's like I kind of think, see, when you do it in this 37 minutes now, follow your north node, away from the karmic pain and to the peace, basically. But it's like, I feel, again, it is interesting because for me, they're making me use situations from way back, but I can feel it's present for some. And for others, it's like me, like you've went through these things ages ago. But it's like, it's taken, I feel, what I was trying to say is, I feel like subconsciously or unconsciously, whenever I've parted ways with someone in my life, right, I can think of many situations where others could look at it and be like, that seems like a bit of an overreaction. And again, you can never look at something and think it's an overreaction because you don't know what's went on behind closed doors, whether that be a friendship, whether that be family, whether that be a romantic connection. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So again, if you do that about others, like, wow, that was a real overreaction about not being friends with that person because of that, you just never know. You don't know the whole story, right? Which I'd imagine most people watching this know, because I always try to sort of tell myself that too, but because of the different fucking betrayals and shit that happens to me the whole time I've been alive, I tend to be more open about that and not, judge. There's someone coming up my stair. But basically, I feel it's like, see, when you finally do move on from either a romantic relationship or a friendship, I always personally feel it's because there was something you couldn't quite put your finger on it, but I think your psychic senses, whether it's like just somewhere in your psyche can sense they fucked you over somewhere else in life that you've never found out about and may never find out about. Do you know what I mean? That's because this is really shadowy today, but yeah. And again, just trust me when I say the Cancer energy in my chart and the last degrees of Cancer moon makes me very super psychic for picking up on secrets, so I'm not surprised that that came up. Right, okay, so that is whenever that's going to make sense to someone. So what about when I've seen, you know, that second situation? Who's that going to make sense to out there? Integrity. Desperation. Interesting. And destruction. Right, I do get that, right? And it's like, I'm just laughing because look, an atonement again, and is that not a different fucking deck? And look at that, that's me. That's me when I used to pander after the folk that used to get me to fucking save them all the time when this person was fucking me over. Look, 31st of May, look at all this, look at all the knives in her back. And look, I just fucking said, you know, I don't try to judge situations because I've been betrayed like fuck. So it's like, you mean, so, and I don't hold on to it either. I have to channel about it, but I let it go and I forgive. Like, I have forgiven people that I can feel they've massively fucked me over more than what I even know. Because life's too short. Like, again, I know it's cheesy, but life is too short to hold on to all that shit. It'll stop your blessings coming in. You know, I wouldn't have had the magical synchronicity today if I was holding, you know, like anger towards these people. It's like, I don't want these people in my life anymore, but, you know, I wish them well and I hope they're happy. But again, I really don't think it's the same back with most folk. And I could be wrong, you know, it could be wrong, but again, I know I'm not wrong because God tells me. So people are, yeah, their integrity, you know, their conscious is catching up with them in your life if this speaks to you. And they might be even having quite destructive things happening in their lives for the way that they treated you. But also, I feel with this desperation card, it's like, you know, it's taking personal responsibility that I can own that in my life, I would have been, I don't know about desperate, but yeah, definitely, to be perfectly brutally honest, when we're talking about love stuff here, because I didn't have an ounce of self-like, never mind self-love at that point in my life, and I would have just wanted to make sure the person was okay and wouldn't wanted them to have been like, fuck this to me, you know, the threat of somebody, what would have been, yeah, we'd have threatened with that and everything. It's kind of like, I would have been desperate, yeah, you know what I mean? Even though I would be like, I can't fucking arse this, I would have done it, and that's destructive, you know? It's like, why the fucking hell would you want to be in a romantic thing with anybody like that, where they're sticking the knife in, or a friendship for that matter? So yeah, so weird, but I do find it interesting when they use my dreams to, I don't do it all the time, but when it comes up, I know that my dreams are going to mean something for someone else. So, right. So just be mindful, you know, whether it's a bit like myself, that you've just always had this feeling that someone's fucked you over way more. And again, when I say someone, it's more than one person. Like, you know, a few people fucked you over way more than what you even realise, and done things behind, stabbing the knives in the back, you know, like you didn't see, you could feel it, you didn't quite know. Whether you find out further down the line or whether you don't, it's kind of just one of these things, you know what I mean, that at least they're not in your life anymore. And just it's validation that I feel if this was happening to you, these people will go through their spiritual awakenings, and yeah, they possibly, it might be because we're into the shadow, you know, people might possibly pop up to ask for forgiveness, because with at least one person I'm thinking of, actually all these situations I can think of where it's like, I've had one situation where a current person actually did apologise, and it did, yeah, it set something free in me to get a genuine apology. But I then set my boundaries, and I can think of another situation where it looked, this is the thing, that's like what I channeled before. Like, it looked like in the dream, it felt like this person was just having a laugh, but actually it was nasty as fuck and there was spite behind it. And it's the same thing, like I've had kind of things that would look like it would appear to be an apology, but it's not. It's like it's like trying to guilt trip you and excuses and no apology, when it's basically when you are due one. But again, that's when I said about when I channeled the other day about, or whenever I channel about ghosting and overwhelm and boundaries, and because I do, you know, I've got two very Gemini opinions on this, right? When it comes to ghosting, there is one part of me that's like, it's rude as fuck, right? And there's another part of me that's like, I completely understand it. And also, I think sometimes you can think somebody's ghosting you, or somebody can perceive you as ghosting them, but actually you just need a few days, weeks, or, you know, depending on what it is, sometimes months to process what's going on, because perhaps you're upset. But like, say somebody dies in your life and that person's like, I don't now I'm being shown clairvoyantly something where someone in my, again, it's not a friend now, but it's just someone in my past was like, they were messaging me trying to like resolve something, right, that to me really wasn't a big fucking deal, but it was a big deal to them, and it was really, it was like a foreign, it was really annoying because I was going through other stuff in my life. And I kept reassuring, I was like, look, you know, it's not a big deal. But it was like, again, I think we could both feel the friendship was drifting. So anyway, it was one of them situations, right? But I wasn't ghosting the bit, like I wasn't going to never reply, but I took a few days to myself, and then I remember when I did then reply to this person, they like then took weeks, and I can think of another scenario where that happened as well, where it was like I took a few weeks to reply to somebody because I genuinely was overwhelmed and I wasn't ghosting, and then somebody took months, and I thought that's just fucking, you know, playing games, and it's mind games, and that's where it's hard to prove, and it's hard to, you know, you just have to be like, fuck, this is done, you know what I mean? It's like that's the psychological, very Scorpio, very psychological games that people can play with one another, and that's what I meant the other day. It's like you might find yourself getting pulled into something like that, but you can pull yourself out of it. You know, you can just, and it's like, it's really interesting, but I'm actually being shown, like, today I've seen a meme that said something about, I might need to post it. It was something about, you know, when a toxic person loses control over you, they will try everything in their power to badmouth you to everyone, right? And I know that that's happened to me when I've parted ways with lots of folk in the past. Um, but it says something about, but eventually the same people that they're telling the lies to or twisting it, will see through them like you saw through. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like that's always the conclusion I've come to. But I always just laugh because the folk are, well, not if the folk that have that have been out there talking about me, you know, that it's either, well, I can think of scenarios where it'll be people I don't fucking know, so I'm not going to bother about that, and they don't, therefore they don't know me, and there's, and like, because if people think they know me through watching this, you don't, you know what I mean? You might think that you do. Even the people that love me and hate me, you don't know my whole life because you watch me on here. Do you know what I mean? And just as none of us do when we watch someone online. But I can also think of people that did know me in the past, but if you've been out of my life for even 6 months to a year, which all these people have, you don't fucking know me anymore. And it's kind of like, but also, like I said, I do genuinely would love to think that anybody that's a karmic energy in my past has moved on and is happy, and I'd love it if they were happy for me, but yeah. We'll just, yeah. I don't need to know, I don't care. Right, so, right, what do we need to know about astrology that's affecting all of this? Aries, yeah, look, that's me just being very honest, raw and real. And Chiron, wow, the wounded healer. It's, yeah, there might be something about the 21st of January here. Someone might have a birthday there, or maybe something significant around that date. But it's like, you know, you've healed enough within you, to not react, because again, you know, the shadow side Aries, it can be very reactive. It's like, you know, this energy is all about responding. And actually, can I just say, you know, Aries is the masculine energy in anyone, but you know, that is a common thing with divine feminine and divine masculine, that masculines as a whole, so even if you're a woman out there that's in divine masculine energy, you'll know which one you lean more towards. If you find yourself in a friction, you know, a moment of friction or an argument or something, and you react really fast rather than responding, you know, you're more in your masculine, and it's kind of like, it's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, you know, in most situations, especially when there's confusion, illusion, you know, you could be jumping to conclusions. If you can try to sort of take a piece, you know, peace out, and, you know, kind of, or, you know, even just go to the toilet and calm down and then respond, you're coming from your empowered self, your Chiron, you know, your healed self. And again, we never stop healing, but, you know, rather than reacting, that's going to be what, you know, this is all about right now. But again, don't beat yourself up if you have been in situations that, you know, you're watching this and you're like, shit, I've just done that and I've reacted and I should have. Same here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really depends I mean, I am an Aries at the highest. I'm an Aries at the 20 degrees, so I'm, you know, I'm at the high degrees. But that's why I'm extremely proud of my transformation. That through, oh, look at this, twin flames is behind it. Transformation and twin flames, your passion ignites, and then passion's behind it too. And do you know what card that is? You always feel like, fuck, I shouldn't be watching them. Right, so that's hilarious. But this is so in the air, by the way. That's the one that I've released for tomorrow. Well, again, I'm saying tomorrow. Let us know if your fucking Thursday's like that. But it's kind of like, that's a different kind of therapy Thursday. But a sexual healing Thursday. But it's timeless, right? So it makes sense to someone whenever it happens. But it's kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has moments where they can react, you know, in that moment, because, and like I said, you know, if somebody fires the harsh words at you, you could very possibly fire the harsh words back at them. I'm not perfect, right? I've definitely been in scenarios like that in the past. I could still be like that in the present and the future. But what I'm saying is, the majority of the time, I try to respond rather than react. But forgive yourself, you don't, right? So, your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Twin flames, your passion ignites. Passion and magnetic, seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. And then there's that. And there's that. Actually, do you know what, right? I fucking love, you know, the old version of those cards. I love them a lot better than the modern ones. I don't know why they changed them. And it's like, I've tried to find them, like, you know what I mean? I've tried to, because it'd be, you know, someone would be charging a fortune for them, but it's like, I want them that much. I have searched, but it's like, so I suppose I'm just going to have to find someone on eBay that's randomly wanting to get rid of them. But it's, yeah, if you ever see anyone, you'll know what I mean. It's like, it's got so say it's got that picture on it and it's got the words, and I don't know why they changed them. But, you know, I guess everything means something, so that's about, you know, that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. Like, the person that made those cards obviously decided that, oh look, conjunction, alliance. And the thing is there is going to be a conjunction at some point of Mars and the moon in Leo. So that's going to be dramatic, potentially explosive, and you know, shit. I don't like that I used the word explosive, because it really could be things to do with fire and guns and, oh god, yeah. So again, and it's, I don't really want, I know what they're telling me, but I don't want to say it. But yeah, yeah, we'll just see. But like I said, I can feel there's something brewing in the world energy, and yes, I know there's something always happening at some point, but I'm talking like there's going to be something really big that happens, and soon, because I can feel it, and I don't know what it is, and it makes me a bit nervous. The architect, and I think it's going to have something to do with these. Oh look, and this is Egypt as well. So there's going to be, and I never use this deck, there's going to be something, I think it's to do with these twin flame unions coming together. I feel that, you know, the dark energies in the world can feel that these unions are coming together. Is the twin flame card just sitting there. Right, so the past lives in Egypt is going to be really significant to someone. Again, when you're a twin flame, we probably all feel that. Right, so where is, I'm going to end this video soon, because it's been quite long. Not that there's a problem with that, I do often do very long ones, but where the fuck is this card? One of keys, 190. So you see how I just calmed down to find the page? That's what I feel they're saying to me. There's going to be a situation, if you've not already come up against it, where you're going to just have to take a breather, self-soothe and calm yourself down, or talk to somebody that calms you down, and then approach a situation calmly, because the architect's about building, but I've never read this, so let's see what it says. A man and a woman in a rich Egyptian dress stand at a table filled with structural drawings and measuring utensils. He's the architect of all the survey, and he points to an unseen building in this expansive project. I said that weird. Throughout the scene, many workers toil on foundations, pylons, and palaces. At a mundane level, you could find yourself involved in a building project, or renovating or redecorating your home or workplace. There was things about the home and the written channeled messages. If you didn't actually pick one for the ABC, which I know loads of you did, and you're shy and you haven't commented, so that's fine if that's you, but you could at least like the post, so give it a like. I don't see who likes it, right? It's a good energy exchange. And thank you if you did. But yeah, even if you didn't pick one, just go and read them, because, you know, there'll be something in it for you, even if you didn't pick one. Most important, this card shows, and again, basically I'm saying that because that would be a good way of energy exchange, you know. It's like, as well as the people that thank you if you ever donate or anything like that as well, or the, you know, the card decks I get. Again, I'm just being really honest, I don't get a lot of these things very often at all. I mean, I do, they're from the same people, which I'm very grateful for, but it's, you know, it would just be, if you do like the video and you comment in and you share it with people that you know are going to like it, I would really appreciate that. And also, you know, referring my work to people on that, there, you know, if you know other twin flames. But even, I say if you know other twin flames, but if you recognise that somebody's in need of fucking hypnotherapy or any of the other stuff that I do, like I said, you can refer them to me. It's just, will they see it through to booking the session? I'm doubtful, because it's been that way the whole time, but, you know, open to change. You see what I mean? I'm staying open. So basically, what was I going to say there? Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it's basically to motivate me, because I love doing those written channel messages, but they take a while, right? Whether it's when I do the daily ones where I channel a card and it's a daily message, which I might start doing again if I feel called to. Again, especially in this season, Gemini season, because it is about writing, you know what I mean? So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm just really feeling that side of me, loving the written channel stuff. But I need people to get involved. So thank you, because I know some of you did, but I need more of you to get involved, because, yeah. So I'm not fucking begging you, but I'm asking you. It matters. Most important, this card, because it's community, so we want to get involved in the community, do you know what I mean? Most important, this card shows that it's time for you to step into your position of power. In order to do that, you must recognise your talents and strengths, as well as your authority to charge up. See how that was, isn't that interesting that I was acknowledging way back at the start of this video when what I was recognising about one of you guys when I was saying that to Lexi. That's interesting. And again, because Lexi's very good at stuff like that too, actually, like organising stuff and that. An opportunity beckons that utilises your skills perfectly. Wow. And shit, wow, that's really fucking blown my mind, because like I said, that is something that happened to me today. Feel the command you have over the great scope of the situation and take charge. And again, you know why it's like I'm being cryptic? Because it's like what I say to you as well. It's like, not everybody's happy for you. And I think some of the shit that I've said in here is proves why. And so, you know, protect that. Whether it be a twin flame union, because that feels like what this is here. It's like, you know, that's somebody's past lives. Or something going on in another area of life. Keep it to yourself for a while. Feel an opportunity beckons that utilises your skills perfectly. Feel the command you have over the great scope of the situation and take charge. Exciting energy. Whether the card is upright or reversed, look at the adjacent card. Right, I've not done that. Right, so it says close your eyes, take a relaxing breath, and move deeply into the authority and confidence that come from your eternal truth. You are easy in, wait a minute, you are in easy command. Feel your talent and power stir within you as you design the destiny you seek. And it does remind me, and you can open your eyes. So it does remind me of when I keep saying about, you know, it's time to leave your south node and follow your north node. And what fell out there? Quill, get back to basics, but the quill's about writing. Fucking hell, I've never seen that one. Be careful, do not take risks. Right, come on, it just fucking told us to take action, and now you're telling us not to take risks. Right, I need to clarify, guys. What's the get back to basics? That is about, you know, whoever that's got. Oh, you can't even fucking see. There we go. That is about writing. Weeping willow, that is family sorrow, right? Okay, so obviously that's going to make sense to. So if somebody has had a loss out there, or there's some kind of shit going down with family or something, that I did pick up on that on one of the pick-up piles. That's really bizarre, but I don't usually use the word. That's reminding that song. How bizarre, how bizarre. That is weird, because I have been seeing a lot about weeping willow, and so that's just come up. I'm sure there was something else, another sort of flower. So dark man, dealings with a relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. So again, you could be the man with the dark hair that's had some kind of family sorrow, or it could be like, you know, lost a man with dark hair, I don't know. Involvement with the law, an exciting event, obstacles to overcome, a short journey. Horses always remind me of freedom, and opportunities are waiting for you. Oh, that's what I said about Adore today on the thing. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming in July. Well, that's very specific. Well, I like that card too because it's got all the rainbow colours on it. So July's not too far away. A period of ill health and depression. I was just about to say that. This is so scarily in line with the shorts that I've picked up. So this obviously isn't everyone, but I feel for some of you that all of that's really going to speak to someone. And I think that's why you've not to take action right now, because if you're in a period of depression and not feeling your best self, well, basically you're not going to be in that long, because excitement's coming. Firecracker reminds me of twin flame stuff. This is very like the shorts. Dealings with a relationship with an older man, you know, the older man could be helping you out of this, or it could be hindering you, so different for different people. Heartache over what you no longer have. Yeah, so again, that kind of feels like, again, just both. Could be the man's helping or hindering. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Disappointment in a friend or a lover. Yeah, again, that's how I'm saying that. I feel like that could be, well, like it often is, people close to home that you think they've got your back and they were sticking the knife in. November significant, and so is June. And obviously we're right beside June. And that's an angel in that too, so the angels are looking out for you. Right, okay, so what do I want to do now? I want to use these a wee bit, right? We're not done yet. And that's going to mean something. We're not done yet, because I channeled something about the notebook and the one I done yesterday wasn't over, still isn't over. And I just looked at 111 when I said that. New beginnings and alignment. Serendipity, oh, for fuck's sake, man. That's what happened to me today. Love it. I love serendipity and synchronicity are two of my favourite words. Again, I know I can never make up my mind what's my favourite, but I do love, because serendipity, if you've not ever seen the film, is very twin flamey. I've channeled about it loads, so you'll have seen that if you've been around a while. But yeah, Serendipity is a brilliant film because it's a good example of a karmic that's not on both parts. They've not, you know, they're not horrible people. They're just not the love of the person's life, because, you know, these two people meet, they never forget each other. Many years go by. Can't remember how many years it is, but, you know, long ass fucking time goes by, and these two people that they literally just met once have never forgot each other. And they, you know, they remembered significant things about it. You know, it's, I think she mentions that she'd always been trying to get this book that she could never find, so he keeps it, or whatever, I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, no, it is. She wants this book. And so he's always looking out for this book that she put her number in. And then I won't actually spoil what happens, because that's spoiling it. But what I'm trying to say is it's quite poignant. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean, so don't spoil it for the other people. But it's like, that's what I find a good example of a bit of a different one. And, you know, as long as, you know, as well as, you know, obviously we channel these situations where the person's karmic people around them, especially romantic partners, but really anyone, because like I say, this is coming up about an older man for someone, and I mentioned a cousin as well for someone, so it's not always friends, and, you know, it can be friends, family, it can be lovers, it can be people at work, whatever, you know, just fucking anyone around you that's got a shadow, which is fucking everyone, including you. Don't lie. 18 is the fucking the moon in the shadow. That's why I help people with that, because I was born on the 18th. So it's like, you can't fucking hide your dark side from me, because I can feel it and see everyone's, and I've integrated my own. Like, I call myself out of my own bullshit. But the problem is, when you know, that's what I mean about, like, you know, it's like, because I'm so understanding and, you know, empathic and all of that, it's like, before I actually really was wising up to how people were manipulating the fuck out of me, I would always take the blame for things that actually, no, I was really due apologies from quite a few folk. I mean, I still am, and like I say, I never fucking hold my breath that I'm going to get them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't hang around waiting on it. Because a lot of the time it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, I'd rather just people just sort of like, you know, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say there, but what I was meaning is, it's like, I don't want any of these people back in my life, but if they feel like they have to say sorry for them, you know, I would accept the apology, but I wouldn't want, you know, I wouldn't want to carry on any kind of conversation. That is what happened way back in my past with somebody that apologised to me. I was kind of like, look, you know, I'll let you say sorry, I'll have a drink, yeah, and now fuck off. You kind of get the gist of what was going on with that situation. I wouldn't be that cutting with anyone else unless they deserved it, but that person did deserve it, they know it. Because let's face it, we do not have to be that nice to somebody that has been an absolute fucking arsehole to us. But I always like to be where possible, because it says more about you than it does about them. But like I said, there's always exceptions, because I can think of times in my life where someone has completely ignored my boundaries and basically hounded me, and I've had to cut them off because they weren't getting the. It's horrible, actually. I've had situations like that with friends in the past several times, and I've also had it with people that are, any like kind of, romantic kind of thing, even things that you're in that, that it wasn't serious or that. It's fucking creepy, you know what I mean? Like when people like just keeping an eye on you and that, it's like, you know what I mean? Anyway. Anyway. Right, so. And it's even creepier when they're appearing in your dreams, so, just sage. I'm going to sage after this. What do you need to know? Where's the divine feminine at in the physical? The chosen one, fast track to ascension. Yeah, there's lots of shit happening. Divine feminines in the physical, like you say, and it could be, maybe you're getting a wee refreshing change in the areas of life that is for you. Because, like I said, I feel very, and when I say I feel very detached on the twin flame journey, I don't mean so detached that I'm not on it anymore. But I just mean it's a refreshing change for me. I do just feel like they're giving me different things to focus on right now, because that's what's going to help me, and that is what's going to help my yang to my yin as well. So, and where's the divine masculine at in the physical? Clearing core wounds, yeah, because they're dealing with other shit, soulmates and stuff like that. So it's like, and again, remember, this can be romantic, or it can be anybody in their life, but it's like they're your twins, got their own stuff, so just you let your light shine, take responsibility where you need to, make the changes in your life. Soul merger, for the people that's going to be relevant to personal empowerment. Yeah, we're all on this path of personal empowerment, and I also kind of feel that's particularly for divine masculines coming into personal empowerment. And sacred sexuality, there's Mars and Leo axis in the unified field. I'm telling you, there's a lot of sacred unions coming up. Who knows when? Let go of the timing. Do your own thing. Focus on the magic in all areas of life. Stay grounded. If you're picking up on that energy too, whether it's because it's coming for you, or you're somebody like that picks up on the collective energy really strongly, like me, just be aware that that's why I'm sharing it. It's like I can just feel a whole lot going on. I don't know why I've picked these up, but why do I ever know anything? I'm afraid of commitment. So again, there's another reason why, just let go, because some people are still working through things like this on their healing journey. But your story isn't over yet. Our story isn't over yet. This is the ones that came out yesterday, and I'm planning on reaching out to you. So again, for some, it's like some at the timeline, someone's still afraid of commitment, which could even be you watching this. But you don't want this story to be over, but it's like you're not ready. And it's like you plan on reaching out, way in the future, so it can be that. But for some, it'll be like someone was afraid of commitment because they were in their south node. They don't want this to be over, and they're going to reach out to you soon. You'll know, or maybe you don't. You deserve better than me. Again, someone's working on self-worth issues. I will find my way back to you one day. I dive in and out relationships. It's just their head fucking you. It's a mixture. You know what I mean? I know I was pretending to be someone else, but that's past. I was pretending to be someone else. Therefore, I have unwittingly sabotaged this connection, our connections. Right, okay, I'm done now. So, if this was yours, please, even if it wasn't yours, please like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and book a session. And remember, I'm going to keep saying it until people take notice. If you're brand new to me, even if you want a pre-recorded reading, I would prefer to have a wee quick chat with you on a live Zoom, just so that I can meet you. Again, you don't need to tell me any of your personal stuff that if you want to book a recorded reading, because I don't need to know anything from you, but I do want to know who I'm reading for. But yeah, you can just have a wee chat about if you ever want to do a live Zoom with me, and I can tell you about the different things that I do, because I do a lot of different things. And yeah, like I said, and that's if you're new. And then you can just email soulfamwolfpack@gmail.com. And I would prefer you email that, because my clair-everything, so there's quite a few of you that email me on the clair-everything, which is fine. But the reason why I've got the other one is because my email is full, like it's totally full now. I still am getting emails through, but just so that you know that if I don't respond on the clear everything. It could just be that, again, it's the weekend, or I'm needing some time myself and I'll get back to you when I can. It could be that I haven't fucking found it, so it's good to just say, again, only sort of say to me, did you get my email if it's been a week or something, because, right, but don't be, because you, yeah, anyway, don't be kind of like, but did you get my email? Yeah, send it to the soulfamwolfpack@gmail.com, because again, not that's I think I should get it. I'm just gonna have to sit down and delete them. I know I say it all the time, but I really do. I have to. I'm not giving Apple any more money by paying for the storage, put it that way. What was I going to say? Yeah, and if you're a hashtag oldie, again, just remember that you can do the same thing. If it doesn't matter how many times we've worked with one another, if you want just a 30-minute chat with me, a 30-minute live Zoom, if you're thinking about doing a session, or like some of you, it might even be jumping into a package because you've worked with me previously and you need to work through something else again, or for some of you, I really hope that some of you you'd be ready to to do the therapy with me, because I know that there's lots of people that have been wanting to do that. So wherever it is, just check in with me. Like I said, I'm not always going to keep that there, but I'm feeling guided to do it right now, because it's just, I would rather see people being proactive about actually doing something about getting out of these stuck, depressed, ill health bits. And I think it's got something to do with the fact that it's been Mental Health Awareness Week, month. It is something, I don't know, it'll be, I think I actually saw that it's maternal mental health, I don't know if it's week or month or something, like I think it might be right now. And it really did make me think of, I know that at some point that's, my work's going to go down that route, because when I was doing my counselling training, I inquired a few times about, doing like prenatal care, and like, pregnancy loss and all that kind of stuff. And just again, because I can, handle this and that kind of stuff, and with my work doing, like a death doula, and, I've always been interested, I've always kind of felt I'd be good at the birth doula kind of stuff as well, just because again I've always been really kind of very involved whenever there's a baby around me in my life, friends and family and stuff like that. It's just so anyway, bloody bloody blah, all that kind of stuff. So if you're not aware of that, I am very good at helping parents, and if you've suffered from postnatal depression or any of that kind of stuff, or sadly if you've had any kind of loss or grief in your life of a person, or anything, situations, again, like I say, a lot of the time I'm helping people with the grief of their twin flame, that is, they're alive but they're not in their life. And then you got to fucking deal with that when they come back from the dead, do you know what I mean? It's like that'll be a whole, like, the feeling of that, you know what I mean? And it's not to be blunt about it, but it's true. You know what I mean? It's like, if you've grieved someone and then they reappear, that can be a big massive head fuck. So right, I'm gonna get going. Love yous and leave yous. See you later, guys.